Broken in the North Sea. Or in an RNLI lifeboat. Right. I'm afraid it's top-down lighting. Birds of the air have nests, foxes have holes, but I have nowhere to lay my head. Thus saith the Lord. So, in the New International Version of the Bible, which is what I have, I can get it through this machine. I don't actually have my Bible with me just now for a reason. The little heading, they have nice little headings, which I find very helpful, because you can sort of go to a passage. If you're looking at the old King James Version, which I was doing, have been doing at Her Majesty's pleasure quite recently, it's all mixed in, whereas in my Bible I can just flick through and open, and I know that page, I know what it looks like, I know where I'm looking for a particular passage instead of just a whole blank thing. Anyway, so the cost of following Jesus Christ is this: you have to give up not only your friends, your family, your loved ones, and especially deny yourself. You have to give up everything. That is the cost of following Christ. I've seen a plug on the wall by the bed, so I can charge there too. There's a little shoppy just 24 hours right next door, so with my leg at the moment, which is pretty knackered actually, I really am hobbling. It's definitely, I mean, I can't get from here to the bathroom without the crutches, literally. I'll take ages if I try it alone. Anyway, such is life. I'm still more or less functioning, the rest of me. Well, maybe I was starting to get too jolly settled in my wee house in Alnwick. It's a lovely little house, I really do like it. Hope to be back there one day, but, you know, we'll see, as the grown-ups say. Certainly not today, anyway. Oh, and a motor car, you know, to the Christian broadcasting place's name, as it were. That's what I was thinking, you know, to be transport to pick people up from the railway station visiting, or, I don't know, go off to the Holy Island now. 2 hours either side of high tide. I will not go anywhere near that causeway ever again. I've learnt my lesson. I've rung the police, actually. I tried the RNLI and couldn't get through, but just to try and locate poor little Mademoiselle Eleanor. Romeo Juliet 06 Juliet X-ray Mike. RJ06 JXM. Gone for a Burton. Poor little car came and got it deaded by me. And the sea. I'm a poet and I don't know it. Stuff these people, you know. I've in fact said it myself many countless times in the last 31 years. I consider my former wife my teacher. I've learnt stuff about myself, life, etc. in general, but that I would have never have known if I'd had a nice middle-class life with, you know, a nice career and a nice profession and a nice job and a nice house and all the rest of it. A nice wife and a nice well, I think it's down under 2 now, isn't it? Used to be 2.1 children, but I think in Europe it's down under, it's 1.7 or something. The average number of children everyone's got. Right. So, in whatsoever state I find myself, therewith to be content. Well, this is hardly, you know, it's a jolly nice, comfortable setup where I am. Nice hotel room. I've booked in. I've got 2 more nights here. Well, tonight it's 1:30 or something. My usual. I'm up listen to the BBC News, and the World Service kicks in at 1 and so on. And I have my old monks with me in the machine. Ramble, ramble. Sort of all part of life's gay pageant. Well, I am, I suppose, not surprised, but it's sort of pleasing to see that, you know, there, but for the grace of God go I. So, frankly, if there hadn't been a refuge place to climb up to on that causeway, we got to a sort of slightly raised bit in the middle. So there was a water splash raised bit, and then the next water splash I said, no, stop, that's enough, thank you very much. And so it was by the, I didn't even really know the refuge was there, but I mean, thank heavens for that refuge. We would have been dead, drowned. In that cold North Sea, they would have never got out quickly enough for us. You know, I think it took ages in terms of being in that probably virtually freezing water, quite frankly. So there would have been 2 corpses in the little motor car when they finally found her. Anyway, it didn't happen, so there. I'm not tempting God. I didn't do all that stuff. It didn't, I mean, it happened. I wasn't planning it in the slightest. It happened. I wanted to go to the Holy Island. Yes, I had a driver. Yes, the car was insured. And incidentally, someone watches my films and was suggesting that I drove off without a license and the vehicle uninsured. Ha! The cheek of her. It was a woman person who suggested that. No. Jolly old, who shall be nameless, that neighbour of mine, a woman, was still fully insured, or insured. It was third-party insurance, so I don't cover any money at all from the vehicle. She's gone. I mean, that's the end of that. Tough titty, basically. It was a lovely little car. Gee, it handled so nicely, and it was big. I had headroom and everything. And I could get my leg in it. I've been in a big 350 Mercedes, and oh, you're all cramped in this blooming thing, whereas that little Panda was tremendous, man. The year 2006, so, you know, but lowish mileage, and really. Anyway, there we are. Not to be. Get another one. I don't need a car. I don't want a car. Personally, I actually positively prefer public transport. Because you meet people. Buses, trains, my favourite. Planes are a bit of a pain. Anyway, no one's flying anywhere yet, if they've got any sense, quite frankly. I've done all my travelling. I don't feel the slightest need to go anywhere. In the preceding years, before I was sort of settling down in Hertfordshire and St Albans and Harpenden, I'd been in whichever order, but Italy 3 times, Spain 3 times, Ireland twice, I think, Scotland 3 times. That'll do, I think, won't it? I was just bouncing around like a pea in a tin can, wondering what's it all about. Someone in Dublin, he was Polish, actually, as it happens, slightly on the Polish theme at the moment, saw me in my Christian tunic. I used to sleep at the chapel there at the airport at Dublin. And he just came over and he said, would you like an airline ticket anywhere in Europe? So he gets free tickets, employee of Ryanair, I think it was. Yeah, Ryanair. The Irish airline, and he literally just gave me a round trip free ticket. So I said, okay, I'll go to Edinburgh, and I did. And then I had a free pass, senior coach, so I could go anywhere in Scotland for free. I just swiped my card and off I could go on these nice big coaches. So I did make very good use of that, in spite of my opinions of Scotland and how the youth treated me. I mean, I was getting attacked literally every day. If I was foolish enough to go out between 3 and 5, i.e. school's out time in the afternoon, I would be verbally assaulted, which is the worst. Little young ones, 13-year-olds, coming right up into my face and saying, Jesus, like that. Oh, that hurts more. I mean, they did attack me a few times. I don't know if they got a staff off me. As I've said elsewhere, if I am ever attacked by anyone, especially youth, I wouldn't dream of trying to thrack them. There'd be a trail of blood from here to kingdom come, for heaven's sake. I've never used that staff in anything other than its proper manner, which is to rest my poor old head on, to thump the ground if you're in a bush in Africa, snakes. Never as a catapult. Someone said that to me once, and I saw it immediately. It's got a sort of V, my main staff. The one made of yew wood from the churchyard at St. Peter's in St. Albans, Hertfordshire, England, which the police still have in there, and they said, we'll see, but you might get it back. In evidence, I meant to whack this little 4-year-old. Oh, please. There was a pinch mark. It's so obvious the mother had pinched it that she got the police to take. I mean, it is perjury and conspiracy to pervert the course of justice. Plain and simple. And the truth must come out. If I have to wander around for 3 months, well, I'm on to some London solicitors, actually, in Berkeley Square, London. See if they can't open the thing up. It's absurd, me having to wander around like this, in spite of trying to put a positive spin on it. I want to be back up in Northumbria in my own home, cooking my own food, praying, civilized, feeding the birdies. My lovely own little place. Not in some perfectly nice, comfortable hotel room. So, there. Ramble, ramble. So, I've always sort of known this. I wasn't tempting God, but an angel was looking after us, definitely. I didn't really get it, okay? I knew it was wrong. I got her through the first bit. I know how to drive in, water thingies. Whack it into second gear, then keep it going, get a slight bow wave, but don't start going too fast and, flood the engine, because then you're stuffed. And then she was wavering off the centre line, so I said, just keep her on that centre line. And she did. I mean, she actually wants to be a professional driver, that woman. So she drove really well, in fact. I mean, after the first mile or so, I just ceased to worry about, being driven by a woman, as it were. I've never thought that. If anyone ever says that to me, I mention Louise Aitken, a Walker, who won the RAC rally, beat all the men. So there. I do try and be sensible about these things. So an angel was looking after us. And is now. I've already mentioned this, but there were these 4 little boxes, really nice, strong little plastic sealable toppy boxes on a bus shelter right next door to this place, hotel where I am, St. Andrew's Church, it is, just outside that. 4, and just sitting on the bench, obviously, I don't know how they got there, completely unopened and untouched, of rice and chickpeas, food. I could have bought food, but I hadn't. I don't know, I was too whatever. And I shall keep, for some reason I chucked one of them, or I ate one, I think, and I left it behind, whereas I've got the 3 here now, and that will forever remind me, as long as I have those boxes, that God put that food there. Okay? So, birds of the air have nests, foxes have holes, but I have nowhere to lay my head. The cost of following Jesus Christ. Amen.